Scott was in charge of getting me to Djuma, and the fire is blinding me, so I am... No, we'll call it with tears of sadness.
Tears of sadness,
Tears of
yes.
sadness. But Scott was in charge of getting me across to Djuma for my job interview. And I spoke to him on the phone, and I must say, in my entire life, I don't think I've ever been given worse directions to a place.
How long did it take you?
Well, in the end, actually, I ended up following Brent in from Hoedspruit. But if I hadn't, I actually might not even be here. If that fortuitous circumstance had not unfolded.
Thank goodness you are here.
Thank goodness.
Yes. Now, Scott is arriving from Buffelshoek Dam, not Buffelshoek Dam, the Treehouse Dam, which is over there. I do not see his lights. So I'm going to tell you about the first time that I met Scott Dyson. And that was when he was on the rugby field, aged, 14 at the time. I was aged 22. That gives you an idea of our age gap. Yes, in fact, that's exactly what it was. And I was his rugby coach. Now, he was the number 8. I'm not sure how familiar any of you are with rugby, but he was bigger than me even back then. And I remember one day we sometimes used to play with the boys during practices. And I remember Dyson once was thrown the ball, and I, being his coach, was on the other side, and I was kind of helping out on that side. And he was running down the field towards me, ball in hand, and he wasn't going to pass it. He was going to take me on. And life for me at that point froze, because he was larger than me even then. And I thought to myself, how is it that I can continue coaching these boys if a 14-year-old runs over the top of me and scores a try? Mercifully, at the very last minute, he dropped the ball, and I was able to excuse myself the ignominy of being run over by a 14-year-old as a 22-year-old. Now, I mean, I'm not a large man now. I was even less large when I was 22. So that's the first time I met Scott. And then I think we both met Nicki here, didn't we?
Yes. No, actually, I've encountered Nicki. Nicki and I were in the same year at school, different schools. So I've encountered Nicki on and off, never really knew her that well. She's actually very good friends of a close friend of mine in Cape Town. Yeah. So I've met Nicki on and off. It took us a while to get to that realization because we hadn't seen each other in years. But once we did, then we worked out that that was the case. I'm just tears of sadness.
Misery. And then the first time I met Nicki, of course, was vocally. Orally, she spoke in my ear. I was out on drive and she arrived back in the director's chair, and I'd never seen this person before. And suddenly this slightly sultry, very attractive voice came into my ear, and the peace of the wilderness was momentarily forgotten as the sound of femininity filled my brain, and I felt a great deal of, I wouldn't say, but perhaps some slight jealousy for Scott Dyson, of course. Then I re-met Scott, of course, and realized that he was even bigger than he was when I first met him, and that in thinking of Nicki in those terms ever again would probably result in a physical injury. So I didn't think about her at all like that ever again. Yes. Now, they have just arrived. Come on now. Get on with it. I'm coming. We're about to play your
Scott,
clip.
Run.
They've just arrived, and how marvellous was it to see Nicola Austin, on camera, brilliant green pigeon work, I thought, today. She had an incredible focus onto the green pigeon, that was very good. And then, of course, brilliant to have her in the actual presenting seat. Marvellous.
I hear she did an amazing job. I could hear a little bit coming through the radio, and it sounded fantastic.
I heard her present some elephants, actually, yes. Mm-hmm. She didn't actually drive into the bush after them. She then went to look at Karula, which I don't know if she found, because we came out here. Welcome, everybody.
Hello, Scotty.
Dyson.
Thank you very much.
Afshan.
The man who gave me the nickname.
Hello, James. Can I squeeze in between? Thank you.
Now, without further ado, I think we're probably running slightly short on time. Shall we go forward with your highlight? Would you like to introduce?
An incredible sighting. The first one that you are going to watch is one from the most recent Big Cat Week. Obviously, the Big Cat Weeks are incredibly exciting and probably an opportunity for a lot of you to actually realize that Safari Live exists and then continue to follow us on the internet thereafter. And obviously, we've got a lot of pressure during the TV broadcasts, and we need to find animals. And on this day, I was lucky enough to be on Bushwalk and find a wonderful, wonderful animal. Take a closer look.
Can you believe it?
We found a leopard. I wasn't imagining things. And it looks to me like it's mvula. Absolutely insane. We can just enjoy the fact that we're viewing a leopard on foot in Africa live. It couldn't be any better. Just moments ago we heard some kudu alarm calling, and isn't it wonderful how by listening to the signs of the bush and to the other animals in this area, they can help us to find what we're looking for. I can hear Pete's vehicle, which is good news. You guys are about to get some great close-up views.
Oh, there it is. Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Looks like a male. Just first sort of look at him in terms of size. Guys, let's show you Scott and them as well on the walk. Brilliant, that's where they are. That's where they are. There's the leopard. Amazing work, both in terms of finding this and also being able to take it there on foot. Brilliant.
Well, here we are then.
That was an incredible sighting.
As you can tell, we got incredibly lucky on that fine day. And it was actually Jean-Andre, the cameraman, who spotted the leopard. We had heard some kudu alarm calling and then moved close into that area, really not expecting to find a male leopard, but we got incredibly fortunate, and a lot of you were there for that magical moment, which again is what makes it. It wouldn't be the same if we were alone.
Absolutely
whilst
not.
All these wonderful events were unfolding ahead in front of us.
Just to remind you, please do send through any questions you have for Scott, and a little bit latterly Nicki. They'd be more than happy to answer them. Well, Scott certainly will. Nicki doesn't know how soon she's going to be in front of the camera.
Look at how emotional these two are getting.
I
know.
Now my first tear is beginning to fall. But sadly, it is as a result of the smoke from the fire.
No, it's not.
From our emotions just yet. But we've at least got an excuse either way.
It's sadness.
Could you please outline, perhaps, just a little bit on what you prefer to do, walking or driving?
Prefer to walk or to drive? A tricky question, James, and one that I would like to sit on the fence with. I would ideally love to every morning start my day on a bushwalk, and then every afternoon go and enjoy the fruits and spoils of the tireless walk and tracking that you will do on the bushwalk, and then go and enjoy a leopard or a lion that you may have found, and then you can take photographs, get a lot closer to them with the cameras. So get to understand the animals better from the vehicle and get better insights into the animals' lives from a vehicle, but more of an experience and more of an adventure being on foot in the morning. So
cool.
Half and half.
Now, before we take this question, I'm going to ask Nicola to come through. No, Brenty, you can wait 1 second. Nicola, would you come through? Because we've got a question for both of you from Johannesburg. If you would sit between us here, that would be
I want to be in this
area. You have to. Just come through. Right, that's Nicola, everybody. Well, you now know that, of course, because she's been presenting at the Storm. Question from Tara Dales in Johannesburg.
Hey,
Tara. From both of you, what your highlights have been while you've been here, other than, obviously each other.
Animal highlights.
Firstly, I'm so happy to hear that Tara's watching. That is amazing.
It's amazing.
You have been very much missed, my girl. For those of you who don't know, Tara was directing with me, and she unfortunately left us in December, so we haven't seen her for a while, but thanks for watching, T-Dog. My sighting is one that we picked out today, actually. One that really stood out for me is one of my first times I got on the back of a vehicle. It was actually Scott and Brent presenting at the same time. The one car caught the light. You know how the vehicle story goes. And we were following mating leopards, which Brent had been tracking for about 5 days and hadn't got a visual of yet. And found them. We said, we can't do a fireside chat, one of these things, we have to go on the vehicle. So everyone piled on the vehicle and we went out and we followed these 2 leopards. Then Karula came on the scene, then lions and elephants, but there's a whole clip waiting for you to see that. But that was definitely a highlight for me, and first time being out on the vehicle really during a show and experiencing all of that and trying to pretend I wasn't there. It was quite terrifying, but good.
Well, let's have a look at that clip and then we'll get back to Scott's answer.
This Karula coming up behind us, following this mating pair. This is incredible, Brent. That's amazing. This is very exciting. That's Karula. Yeah, I'm just hearing there's a lion here as well.
Well, there we go. Now there's a lion in the mix.
You can can see the lioness just popping her head over the edge. So apparently there's also an elephant coming to drink at the dam.
Listen to how credible that is. And
oh, it looks like the leopard spotted the lion. And there they go. We've got lions roaring on the road next to us. We've got charging? I can't see. Absolute pandemonium. We've got lion scent marking in front of us. We've got a leopard in the tree above us. There's 2 leopards in the tree actually. Well, I think all our heart rates are only coming down now. We had those elephants trumpeting behind us. We had the lions roaring next to us. We had leopards leaping in trees. From all of us here at Wild Earth, from Romeo and Nicki, who's sitting behind us, VM in FC, thank you very, very much. It's been a wonderful Easter Sunday. I've had an absolutely fantastic time. And I can't wait to get up in the morning to do it all again.
it was one to remember.
Adios.
Well, now you know what Nicki was talking about, and also what I was talking about a little bit earlier. The chaos that unfolded at Twin Dams that evening was something that I don't think any of us have managed to share. Something quite like that. 2 big cats in one sighting. It was the first time that we had that, I think, since any of us had joined Safari Live. It was also the first time that we had leopards mating. Not that we actually got to see them mating that night. I'm just looking across to Mr. Leo Smith, who's going to be joining us very shortly.
We'll just get him to join us now, otherwise he'll lurk.
He's come back from leave. He's sacrificing his time away just to be here.
And a bit of a problem.
I guess he does have good reason to be here. Not just me, there's Jamie as well. He injured his hamstring today, so he's not going to be as agile as you know him. Brent, welcome.
Thank you.
And what an awesome sighting, and I'm happy that I got to share the spoils of all your hard work.
I know you're blaming the smoke, but you're going to make me cry.
Oh, Brent.
Okay. Just quickly before we carry on, Nicki, you said the vehicle caught fire as they do and glossed over that. Brent, would you like to take us through that?
Well, there was a cameraman, some of you will know, was Romeo. Better known, what's his real name? Jason. And he was sitting there, he said, something smells funny. I was like, no, stop you're being paranoid. And then all of a sudden smoke started billowing out of Wendy. This is the first time that Wendy caught fire. And so it was a Sunday, and we had spent many hours, as Nicki said, trying to find these mating leopards. I'm not going to say why we didn't find them earlier, but it was an amazing thing, because Nicki was sitting on the back, and then we actually, and I really, really loved that we actually got to present together. And I think it's the only time since I've been here that we've had 2 presenters in one vehicle.
Yeah.
And
VM in the final control room,
yes,
who
VM
miraculously directed the show.
VM also fixed the fire.
Yeah, fixed the vehicle, rewired the vehicle in record time.
We closed down the show, and VM did what VM does. He did Wildebeest.
Magic.
And yeah, and we got to go out on instead of a fireside chat, we went to go look at mating leopards.
Yeah.
Who did not mate.
Yeah.
And
Annie, in British Columbia, you have a question for Nicki and Scott. Your most amusing moment in camp?
Sure. Too many with our crew. Really. Too many. A lot of one-liners from VM, the same guy who managed to fix the vehicle and get it up and running so we could show you those leopards and lions and elephants at Twin Dams. He isn't a man of many words, but when he does speak, it is often profound and hugely hilarious.
Yes,
so a lot of hilarious moments. Every time it's somebody's birthday, Tandi, sweet Tandi, our chef, has got the ability of somehow making sure that you don't have a cell phone in your pockets, and she douses you with a bucket of water. It's a local, I think, a Shangaan tradition, unless she's just making us feel that way, but she covers us with buckets of water on our birthdays, which is always hilarious. Steph was the most recent victim, which was hilarious.
Oh, I missed that.
I would pay good money to see that.
That is amazing. And I think it's, it's very nice that make sure that you don't have your cell phone. And somehow everyone knows it's going to happen, but it's always an astonishing surprise.
Yeah.
The best thing is when you get new crew members and you tell Zodwa and Tandi, it's their birthday.
And they get wet anyway.
Yeah, it's happened when it wasn't a birthday.
Yes.
For me, one of the hilarious times is generally when Graham and Emily and everyone come down. It's just the smoke.
I know.
They all come down. James gets out his guitar. I'm sure some of you have probably actually heard us on the Juma Waterhole. But songs come out and just sort of improvisations, and that's also a very good time for me when the whole crew gets very festive together, and it's hilarious, especially the James's songs. As you guys all know, have you brought your guitar?
Maybe.
Okay. Just checking.
And then James Richard would like to know if you could each sum up your time here at Safari Live in one word. What would it be, other than tears, of course?
Some of me want to go with the nature side of things, and then like refreshing is a good word for me. I was obviously a city girl, so this has opened my eyes to a lot of wonderful things, and just being out here with nothing, just landscape and our friends. So yeah, it's change of scenery for me, and it's been incredible. It's been very awesome.
That's more than one word.
Yeah, that's many words. I'm trying to think of a clip. Oh, that was me. I'll claim that.
Yeah, wait.
We all still there, though.
Wait.
And Scott, you?
Well done, Brent.
Yeah. Thankfully, Jamie's sitting there because she's the lightest.
Said
Otherwise,
failure.
The only word, one word. Awesome, I guess. It really has. It has been awesome.
and that is your word.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is a word you've often heard me. It's my go-to word when anything ever gets exciting, and it's always varying degrees of exciting. Really, just the fact that so many people are in one place together at one time really is awesome. And then the memories and experiences that get shared during those times together are varying degrees thereof.
We have a little clip that Alan has put together for you. While we have the monitor there at the
This is
moment.
exciting.
I'm just going to turn the sound up,
Okay.
otherwise you won't hear it.
Okay, so none of us have seen this clip. I don't think. I know I haven't.
So we watch the monitors constantly, but I've now noticed Nicola Austin
All right,
leaning towards the monitor.
play it.
Okay, Kirsty, deploy the clip.
We are ready to go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are live, you are live.
Hi, I'm Scott Dyson from KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. Come and join me on an endless safari. I love this place.
A very interesting situation this afternoon, and it's Nicola Austin on camera. Beautiful. Straight towards us. Look at this. This is incredible. Walking through the stick bush, and then all of a sudden, this pops out. Ah! Hello, everyone. How cool is this? Can you believe it? Hello, boy. What can you smell? I'm so tempted to put my hand out to you, but I'm not going to.
No, well, I mean, it's pointless for me.
Oh, this is crazy. Look at this feather.
Okay, well then there's no point in doing it. So this until they fix the audio.
Look at this.
Come on, Westy. Go take a life to take me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in the
Welcome back.
Cool.
Just take screenshots, lots of them, please. Look at this. Can you believe it? was awesome, buddy.
How are you feeling? How cool is that?
Sorry, this isn't live, guys.
We're sorry this is live, everyone.
We can just enjoy the fact that we're viewing a leopard on foot in Africa live. It couldn't be any better.
As they now pick the nits and different extra parasites from Scott. Yes, it looks like Scott is the dominant male out of this little group.
Flutting away.
There goes one line is playing. Oh wow, look at that.
Thank you very much. Take 5, see you later. There she is. Hey! Thanks, Orsty. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Wow, that was awesome. So, to everyone involved in not only putting that together, but making those memories and sharing those memories. How cool was that? Hey?
It's just amazing, yeah.
Full circle. The first clip, I remember doing like a million takes trying to tell people what my name was and where I was from. I think it was on day 2 or 3 on arrival here in the Sabi Sands. We were actually staying in Manyeleti back then. And I just didn't have the know-how back then. And it's been wonderful to learn and be taught by the various presenters, Peter and Hayden, who welcomed me in, and all the cameramen who helped me in my infancy. And then to be involved with all the other presenters. Brent was the first to join, which was a great pleasure because we were at the same school, so knew each other from before.
I wouldn't have been here without Scott.
Yeah. I remember the phone call. Brent phoned me saying, should I come through? So I was like, yes, of course. Like, unless you're going to the moon sometime soon, I'll get there. And then obviously I knew James from before, him being my rugby coach at school, and then knowing one another in the lodges in the Sabi Sands, and then Jamie as well. So it's been a great journey with the other presenters, as well as all the cameramen, old and new, the directors, Graham and Emily, and all the other directors, Peter Brat, Eugene, the tech guys, Alex. It's just a long list of people that have made a huge impact on both of our lives and on the experience that we all get to share. And that's, I guess, a big thing to remember. There's a lot of people that you don't get to see that are hugely, hugely important in making what we do daily get out to you guys. So it's important that we remember.
What do you think you're going to miss the most?
Taking the biggest safari on the planet. You know, there's no one else that does what we do or can do what we do and can enjoy what we do.
They can try.
People can try, but there's nobody that goes on as big a safari as we do on a daily basis. And to be able to connect and communicate and understand and hypothesize with so many different people from all around the world of all different ages is something I won't be able to do regardless of where we go in Africa thereafter. So that's going to be an impossible void to fill.
And for you, Nix?
Same thing. I mean, it's been surreal being in the control room, watching you guys, learning from all of you. It's been a privilege, as well as the cameramen. Me giving you the crit, and then I go out there today being like, oh my word, this is a lot harder. So everyone is so appreciated here. And yeah, thank you, the crew. Thank you to all the viewers, and thanks for all your kind words and all your emails and all your updates. You guys have such a huge impact on us, and it's very special, and we really appreciate all of you, so thank you.
Well, now here's possibly the most valuable gift the world has ever known, and that is a picture, of course, of the entire Safari Live crew. which we would like
I'm very, very privileged to be able to hand this to you guys. And I'm getting a bit teary. I'm going to miss you guys so much. And of course, we chose the one with Scott being an idiot.
Yes! This is awesome.
Just note the highlight there of the picture is that Louise wasn't with us at the
That's
time.
awesome, but she's
She
still
has
there.
added herself. Well done, Louise. Good job.
Thank you very, very much. This is awesome.
And I think this was Gendre's brainchild, so well done, Gendry.
Thank you very much, everyone who was involved in this.
There's
there's letters and messages everywhere.
Thanks, guys.
We're not going to read those now. Because we don't have time, because as Dylan has just inquired, he'd like to know if there's a party later. Yes, there is going to be some sort of a farewell celebration a little bit later. So we'll be sure to let you know how that goes. Well, I guess whoever's out in the morning, James and Jamie, will let you know how that goes.
We shall not be filming that live. We'll only get you 1 or 2 snippets, photographs only.
Just before we sign off, we've only got about 2 minutes left. I'm going to ask you each to say something to Nicki and Scott. If you want to tell them to disappear into the night, that's fine, but maybe just a few words.
There's only one word you can use to describe Nicki and Scott, and I think I might be stealing it from people down the road. The Gorges. Gorge 1 and Gorge 2.
Explain that.
So Nicki and Scott refer to each other as Gorge, as in gorgeous. So it's Gorge 1 and Gorge 2. I'm not sure who's 1 and who's 2.
You know how
but
difficult
neither are we.
it was today on Scott. I kept going like, Scott, where should I go today?
But Gorge 1 and Gorge 2 for me.
Cool. Jamie?
I just wanted to say, guys, thank you so much for the kindness that both of you showed me. Like, you were instrumental in making me feel at home. So thank you, and thank you for all of the help and instruction and teaching me how to do something I've never done in my entire life. I really appreciate it. We are going to miss you terribly.
Thanks, Jamil. You've been a legend, an absolute legend.
Thanks for the nickname, Scotty.
No problem.
Just the one. I think for me, it's been I'm a little bit older than these guys. I know it doesn't look like that, of course, but I'm a little older.
The most athletic out of all of us.
And I came in on the back end of it was a fairly traumatic business breakup. It's a bit like going through a divorce, I suppose. And I came in and thought, well, I'll give this a little bit of a go and I'll see if it's any good. And here I was surrounded by this hodgepodge of eccentric people, many of whom would probably, and I include the cameraman here, who would never be around each other in a normal situation.
Yeah.
I mean, Nicki's, 15 years my junior, younger, I don't mean my junior at all, and Scott, 9 years, and I didn't think I would ever learn the most incredible things that I did from them. Scott, from a presenting point of view, from a naturalist point of view, going on a walk with Scott when we haven't been live has just been, I wish I'd taken a notebook a lot of the time. It's been just so very special. And from you, Nicki, your humor has just been a wonderful, wonderful light to what was a depressing time in my life. So thank you very, very much to both of you.
Thank you,
Enjoyed it greatly. Everybody, we have run out of time, so I'm going to give the last 2 words to you two.
Thank you. Thank you so much for everything. Everyone involved, from Graham and Emily, who started this many years ago, and to every other person in the Safari Live family all around the world. Thank you for all of your support, all of your questions, all of the fun moments that we've shared together. And it's not goodbye forever, it's just goodbye for now. And we'll definitely be able to keep in touch over the various platforms, and we'll be sure to let you know what happens, and we'll be sure to keep an eye on what's going on with the rest of this crew.
I promise not to bully James too much.
Cool.
But yes, thank you, and we will keep in touch as much as possible.
Good stuff. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow at 05:30 for the Sunrise Safari. Sans, unfortunately, very sadly, Nicki and Scott, who are going off into Africa to explore the wonders of this great continent. Until then, Bye-bye and good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.